Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows, their new Star Wars movies, you name it, by Disney, Lucasfilm, and exactly what they are going to offer in the next couple of years to come for the Star Wars fandom to enjoy. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we obviously know that Kathleen Kennedy is pretty much out of the picture for the most part. She's only working on the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV series, and that's it. On the side note here, we do have George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni all working together as a team to really develop as much Star Wars material as possible, for the Star Wars fans around the world. That's what they're ultimately trying to do, is that they really want to deliver a lot of authentic material that are going to be taken directly from Star Wars Legends, or at the very minimum, inspired from Star Wars Legends content. And that, I think, really does spell a great message by Disney. It really does, because it tells the Star Wars fandom that at the very minimum, Disney is trying to make up for the mess that they dealt with the sequel trilogy, and they're really trying to prevent Star Wars from essentially vanishing into thin air. They want Star Wars to continue, and they want it to continue on a strong note here. So everything beyond this, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to do everything in their power in order to really revive Star Wars, given that Kathleen Kennedy, like I say, is not involved with the other Star Wars projects for the most part. However, when it all comes down to the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV series and actress Brie Larson, this is where things begin to get quite shaky when it comes to the franchise and exactly what 2022 is really going to look like when it comes to one particular TV series. Now that both, of course, Bob Iger and Bob Chaypek are finished with the sequel trilogy, they are now moving on to their new Star Wars universe and more in order to reunite the fans around the world. It's explained that currently Disney has over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects that they are currently developing and working on in order to create a better future for the franchise without Kathleen Kennedy. Now, it's described that as of right now, Kathleen Kennedy is working on the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV series that is set to include actress Brie Larson in the Star Wars universe. It's explained that Brie Larson's character is dubbed as Maeve in the new series that is set to debut sometime in 2022 on Disney+. Now, it's described that the character of Maeve is set to be a creation of the Wills, who are godlike beings. Essentially, Brie Larson's character is going to be a Jedi god in the series that will serve as a Jedi leader on the new Jedi Order during a civil war between two groups of Jedi. Now, once again, guys, I already think that this is starting off to become very bad and very poor in quality. The fact that Brie Larson is going to be a creation of the Force, which we'll get into more in just a second. Now, actress Brie Larson is actually said to have the opportunity to improvise her own lines of dialogue in the new Star Wars movies that will allow her to experiment with the character on a personal level. Brie Larson and Leslye Headland recently ran into new creative differences, which led the character to get some rewrites for the show before they begin filming sometime in 2021 next year. So really, is it all that much of a surprise that somebody like Brie Larson would actually allow the writer to actually force themselves to actually rewrite aspects of that character? So Brie Larson, we've seen a prime example of her in Captain Marvel. A lot of fans out there of the MCU really did not enjoy that movie, and I think that we're going to have a really similar scenario here when it comes to this new Star Wars TV series that's going to arrive on Disney Plus in 2022. The thing about Brie Larson is this, is that we do know that she's very much, strict with what she wants to do when it comes to her acting career. This is obviously the next step up. She really wants to get engaged within the Star Wars universe to promote a lot of activism, identity politics, you name it, something that really just does not fit the Star Wars fandom, right? The Star Wars fandom is already rejecting everything that Brie Larson and Headland are currently working on. This is all a creation at the end of the day by Kathleen Kennedy. There's no doubt about it. After all, Kathleen Kennedy is supervising the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV series on Disney+. The thing about Brie Larson is this. When we go ahead and take a look at Brie Larson, is that she is an actress that I at least believe is just very out of touch with reality. You know, I think that she doesn't necessarily understand fandoms and what they really want to see either on the big screen or at home on their television. Here we have Brie Larson, you know, pretty much getting into a scenario where she's going to be messing around with Star Wars fans. So beyond this, it's explained that Brie Larson is very offended from the Star Wars fans already rejecting the Leslye Headland Star Wars TV series, since Larson will be promoting activism in the new show, and that this is something that the fans do not want to see in the series. Larson's character is also said to be attached with the power of time travel, making her more knowledgeable than any other Jedi in the Star Wars franchise. Once again, you know, I think that this is way too overboard, just automatically making Brie Larson's character the most powerful Jedi there is out of the entire, you know, Star Wars series. More powerful and knowledgeable than Anakin, Luke, Yoda, you name it, so on and so forth. It just seems a little too forced. I actually could say it sounds way too forced, in my opinion, by Kathleen Kennedy. So I think that we should really take a look closely on this new series, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the fans actually treat the show once it does arrive in 2022. That is, of course, if it even does arrive. You know, there's a lot of speculation out there if this show will even see the light of day, given that they have actually already ran into setbacks, and how this show is already dealing with, you know, a lot of rewrites as we speak because of creative differences between Larson, Kennedy, and Headland. It's really not a big surprise, and at the end of the day, I mean, this really is the only Kathleen Kennedy project, so I'm not too worried about this making a major negative impact on the Star Wars franchise. Moving on. Now, many of these plans and concepts were initiated by Leslye Headland and Larson together in order to make a character that new fans can connect with in the next couple of years to come. This new character, Maeve, is also said to be the key to the balance of the Force for a certain amount of time in this new era of the franchise that will be explored in 2022. It's noted that Lucasfilm is working on a comic series that will introduce her character in 2021 in order for the fans to become more familiar with Maeve in this new Star Wars TV show for Disney+. Now, the series is also set to introduce a brand new foe that will outperform the Sith in terms of power. Now, they are said to be new enemies from a different galaxy that will test Brie Larson's character, Maeve, and her ability to handle the dark side of the Force and more. The new series is said to take some Star Wars Legends material, where it will all be transformed by Leslye Headland in the new series, which goes against George Lucas. Lucas is actually said to not be in support of this idea by Headland for taking his material from Star Wars Legends and, of course, just transforming it into something new. Brie Larson in the new series will also tap into the worlds between worlds, once again in the Star Wars universe, that Leslye will be creating her own spin on this realm created by Dave Filoni, originally speaking. So once again, we have Headland taking a lot of credit by Dave Filoni. She's taking the worlds between worlds concept, throwing it into Star Wars Legends, or should I say throwing it into this new series, and using Legends material to kind of make a brand new realm that Brie Larson's character is really going to engage in. Now, the one problem that I think a lot of fans are going to have about this is how Larson is also taking a lot of her own capabilities to improvise her own lines of dialogue. So we're going to see a lot of dialogue in this show that's going to be created by Brie Larson herself and not necessarily by Leslye Headland. You know, when we look at Leslye Headland, you know, she's not a Star Wars fan at the end of the day. You know, she even said so herself in one of the interviews that she doesn't even have a favorite Star Wars movie or anything like that. You know, no favorite anything when it comes to Star Wars. So that was pretty much a telltale sign right then and there that she's just using this as a brand in a sense to promote whatever she wants to create by using the Star Wars label to really kind of just get her actual agendas out there that she's trying to promote. So like I've said before in the past, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
to moon, we hear them once again.